Who doesn't love the Amazing World of Gumball? Ben Bouclé's hit animated series is known for its perfectly placed references to popular movies, music, memes, and more. Hey everyone, I'm Jacob with Channel Frederator, and today we're checking out the latest Gumball references you missed. How many videos is this? Is this the fourth? The fifth? I don't know, time is a flat circle. It's just Gumball references all the way down. Let's go! Season 5, Episode 31, The Singing. Disney's Frozen. In this sing-along spectacular, we dive right into the references with a subtle shout-out to Disney's Frozen. Although it may not be immediately recognizable to some viewers, Disney fans might have realized that the I'm Singing opening song is a parody of Olaf's musical number, In Summer. Careful viewers will also notice that the design of the animated showerhead who begins the parody is much like that of Olaf himself. His nose, head shape, and goofy big front teeth confirm that he is an intentional shout-out to the singing snowman. Adele. Honestly, every single song in this episode is a parody of something. Way up in the skies above, we hear Pluto's song, a sneaky ode to Adele's Hello from her album 25. If you listen closely, you'll notice that the song has the same sad tone that comes through in much of Adele's music. But the real genius here is in the lyrics, which share a theme with the original song, dealing with memories of the past. It's okay, Pluto. A dwarf planet is still a planet in my heart. J-pop. It's obvious that Terry's song is in the style of a J-pop music video, but it's not just any J-pop music video. Terry's outfit suggests that she's referencing the J-pop artist Carrie right down to the mismatched patterns and pigtails. The visuals during Terry's song are meant to mimic the music video for the hit song Pon Pon Pon, where the artist is surrounded by colorful animated detritus. Oh, and it's totally worth mentioning that Terry's rainbow fart towards the end of the song is pulled directly from that music video. You know how sometimes you'll come across a video and you'll just be like, well, I guess we've reached critical mass, nothing will ever top this. I think that's where we are with music right now. Season 5, Episode 32, The Best. The Matrix. In the Season 5 episode The Best, Carmen keeps projecting her moral high ground onto Gumball, and it starts to feel like she's wrong-shaming him on purpose just so that she can boast about being right. Well, her smug attitude quickly rubs Gumball the wrong way, forcing him to retaliate. So he decides to scour the internet for ideas on how to shame Carmen in return. When Anais walks in on him, we're graced with a hilarious though brief reference to the hit sci-fi film The Matrix. Turns out Darwin has literally plugged Gumball into the computer, allowing him to download information directly into his brain. When he wakes up, Gumball riffs on one of Keanu Reeves' memorable lines from the film, I know Kung Fu, by saying, I know Tung Fu. Tung Fu is yet another reference in of itself, this time to a book entitled Tung Fu, How to Deflect, Disarm, and Diffuse Any Verbal Conflict by author Sam Horn. Tumblr. In the very same scene, there's a reference to the popular social media platform Tumblr, only they refer to it as Rambler. So how do we know that this is a direct reference to Tumblr and not just a coincidence? Well, it's all in the context clues. When Darwin explains the concept of Rambler to Anais, he describes it as a bare-knuckle fight to see who's the most tolerant on the internet, and never before have I heard a better description of social media. Then to really underscore the reference, Gumball tells Carmen that she needs to check her privilege, an expression popularized on social media by bloggers on platforms like, you guessed it, Tumblr. The indestructible Nokia meme. Later in the episode, Gumball discovers that Carmen had a bad girl reputation at her old school. When Gumball uncovers video evidence of Carmen's checkered past, he's overjoyed, but after deciding to take the high road, he accidentally texts the proof to everyone he knows anyway. So in a panic, he and Darwin run all over town in an effort to delete the evidence off of everyone's phones. During this sequence, Gumball encounters Idaho the Potato and attempts to destroy his outdated brick phone, but is unable to damage it. This is a reference to the indestructible Nokia 3310 phenomenon that took the internet by storm. It resulted in endless memes and viral videos testing just how durable these Nokia phones actually are. Because you know, if you drop yours on the floor, well, I hope you're ready to pay out the nose, because you're gonna have to call a contractor for a new floor with your undamaged Nokia 3310. Season 5, Episode 33, The Worst. Invasion of the Body Snatchers. The Worst plays on a common trope in countless films, the trading places shtick, wherein characters must walk a mile in each other's shoes. So after a truly horrible day, the Wattersons decide to switch lives to see who among them really has it the worst. We witness an altercation between Gumball, Darwin, and 3 other boys in the locker room, wherein Gumball and Darwin are bullied for using rose-scented shower gel. Tobias, the leader of the group of bullies, calls them out with a classic throwback to the 1978 version of Invasion of the Body Snatchers, a gut-shattering alien scream. In the movie, this scream was unleashed whenever aliens encountered outsiders. The Wolf of Wall Street. Nicole's job at the Rainbow Factory is no walk in the park, and that isn't helped by the fact that Mr. Yoshida is blatantly sexist. Not only does he make demeaning remarks about her appearance, but he also shows favoritism to her male co-workers, giving her little to no credit despite all of her hard work. Good God, get with the times, Yoshida. To illustrate her point about Yoshida's boys club, the episode features a hilarious send-up to the award-winning Scorsese film The Wolf of Wall Street, in which all of the men in the office pound their chests and chant for motivation during a meeting. You know, 'cause it's manly. I just tried doing that for like 2 seconds and now I feel gross. Season 5, episode 34, The Deal, a trip to the moon. In the very next episode, The Deal, Yoshida finally comes to his senses and honors Nicole with the Employee of the Month award. She's so excited about the award that she boasts to everyone in the phone book, calling them up one by one regardless of whether or not she knows them. She takes it to the next level by setting off a massive firework display that reads, Nicole Watterson, Employee of the Month. Maybe it's a little bit excessive, but she's been there for years. She's earned it. It's in this moment that a rather obscure Easter egg appears. If you pay attention, you'll see a firework fly into the moon's right eye, causing him to scream in agony. This is an homage to the 1902 French silent film A Trip to the Moon by Georges Méliès. The film was revolutionary at the time of its release and is now considered a classic of early cinema. Gremlins. Following Nicole's self-indulgent display after winning Employee of the Month, Richard starts to feel underappreciated at home. So he decides to go on strike until Nicole acknowledges just how much he does around the house. Of course, she doesn't take him seriously until she encounters their children in their true forms, little monsters that look a heck of a lot like gremlins. That's right, for nearly 4 minutes, the Watterson children are depicted as actual gremlins. Gumball stands front and center as the most iconic gremlin, Stripe, from the 1984 film. Naturally, Nicole tries to blame Richard for their behavior, but in a strange turn of events, it's actually his lack of involvement that causes the kids to turn into scaly little creatures. Who knows, maybe they got into the kitchen and ate something after midnight. Return of the Living Dead. You'll find another hidden gem after Nicole discovers that monsters have been wreaking havoc on her house. She hasn't realized that those monsters are her children because they're clearly too far gone at that point, so she screams at them to leave her house or she'll call the cops. But then it becomes clear that the cops were called, but the unruly kids ate them. I mean, it sounds bad, but keep in mind that their cop is a donut. That might actually make it worse now that I've said it out loud. Anais spits out the police badge and says, "Send more cops!" This isn't just bloodlust talking either. It's a callback to yet another popular 80s horror film, Return of the Living Dead. In the movie, 2 cops are sent to investigate a crime scene and are eaten by zombies. One of the zombies walks over to the cop car, picks up the radio, and says, "Send more cops." Jurassic Park. In a brilliant old meets new reference, we see Richard act out a scene from both the original movie and the newest installment in the Jurassic Park franchise. In an attempt to tame the 3 wild creatures that are his children, Richard mimics Jurassic World's protagonist and dino trainer Owen Grady. If you've seen the film, then you know that the Gumball version uses the same movements as the original. Richard even refers to his son as Blue, the name of one of Grady's raptors in Jurassic World. Leave it to Gumball to stick references on top of other references. In the very same moment, you'll find a shout out to the original 1993 Jurassic Park. Anais peers through the bushes at Richard, preparing for a sneak attack. This parodies a scene from the original in which a hunter is ambushed by a raptor hiding in the bushes. As he spots the predator creeping up on him, he murmurs, "Clever girl," before being attacked. Needless to say, the iconic quote makes it into the scene with Richard and Anais. In an effort to really drive home this episode's Jurassic Park overtones, the episode uses a thrilling sound cue much like the one used in the Jurassic Park franchise whenever someone was about to be dino food. Season 5, episode 35, The News. The Day Today. The Season 5 episode The News is an off-the-wall compilation of random news segments from the city of Elmore. The entire plot is a spoof on a 90s British TV series called The Day Today, which itself was a parody of the popular BBC radio show On the Hour. For those of you who don't know the show, this award-winning comedy series featured hilariously made-up news stories covered by pseudo-professional anchors. The Gumball parody sets the tone with a seemingly endless Channel 6 news introduction filled with ridiculously over-the-top computer graphics. The episode showcases spoof segments like What Do You Think About It?, a street interview segment derived from the Day Today sketch Speak Your Brains. Season 5, episode 36, The Puppets. Don't hug me, I'm scared. The Puppets episode reveals the dark side of Darwin's imagination when he and Gumball uncover some old creepy puppets in the attic. Delighted to be reunited with his long-lost friends, Grady, Frank, and Howdy, Darwin starts to lose himself in the puppets, literally. So Gumball teams up with the puppet Grady to save his brother from the evil puppet's clutches. Together, they transport into a weird 3D puppet world where Darwin is held captive by Frank and Howdy. If the crazy puppet realm seems like something straight out of the web series Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared, that's because it is. Series creator Rebecca Sloan and Joe Pelling co-wrote this episode of Gumball, making it one of the most disturbing episodes to date. Who knew puppets could be so scary? Oh, that's right, by everyone! 90s toy trends. When Darwin and Gumball are first searching through the attic for old toys to sell, Darwin mentions 3 toys: Tamagotchi, Bop It, and Dragonflies, all of which were hugely popular in the 90s. Of course, the reference sets up a pretty hilarious joke for 90s kids because all of those toys had terrible downsides. The needy digital pet Tamagotchi got old real quick, Bop It did too, because how much can one person really bop it and twist it before wanting to pull their hair out? Not to mention the fact that after a certain amount of bopping, the toy just stopped working. True story, when I was a kid, I actually had a Bop It whose batteries were dying, so it would just make horrible sounds in the middle of the night. 15 years later, and I'm still not over it. But Dragonflies were the worst of all of these, because those hover toys were notorious for running amok. If they launched at all, they always managed to fly into the worst places, like the fireplace, or your mom's hair, or your eyes. So it goes without saying that all of those trendy toys were relatively short-lived. Rick and Morty. One of the most epic references of this episode happens in passing, and chances are you missed it unless you're a super smart die-hard Rick and Morty fan. That's right, when Gumball and Grady first arrive in the puppet realm, Gumball is reintroduced to a variety of fun imaginary friends from his formative years. One in particular, Sammy Sunscream, is a direct reference to Rick and Morty's season 2 finale, The Wedding Squanchers, in which the titular characters seek out a new planet to call home. The third planet they visit has an obnoxiously screaming sun which yells continuously throughout the entire 42-hour day. And there you have it. Once again, I'm Jacob with Channel Frederator, and thanks for watching the latest Gumball references that you missed. Do you have a favorite reference to share with us? Let us know in the comment section below. And don't forget to subscribe to Channel Frederator to receive updates on awesome videos like this one that we're dropping every day. And remember, Frederator loves you.